Today I'm very excited to be reviewing cases by Banks for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I have the ArmorAir Aurora series, the ArmorPro 600D, the ArmorPro 600D Montage with camera control button, and as a bonus I have the Shanghai series. Now why am I so excited to review these cases from Banks? Well, I already reviewed the Aurora and the Pro series for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and out of a review of 14 different cases, these two were in my top 3. So 2 out of my top 3 were Banks. So I haven't opened any of these yet, but I'm really excited to try them on my phone right now in front of you for the first time. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the Banks ArmorPro 600D. In my last video for the Samsung, I got so many comments on this one. I think it's really the perfect blend of protection and minimalistic design. And this is made with a Kevlar fiber for that ultra protection. It's a really nice material. You can see the MagSafe ring on the inside. I'm gonna pop my device in here right now. And yeah, if you know me in my reviews, the first thing I test out is hand feel, the way it feels in your hand. And the reason that I love the Banks cases is because they feel amazing. The other thing I always test out right in the beginning is the buttons. And again, another reason I like the Banks cases is because these buttons feel amazing. They're very easy to press. It doesn't feel like you've slapped on a case that compromises the buttons and makes them tough or rigid. These buttons are very smooth. You can press them immediately and they don't take away at all from the device's performance. I really like the cutout for the camera control button. Later in this video, we're going to check out the Montage, which actually has a button over this, which I haven't yet tested. Now, I'm somebody who likes to start taking pictures immediately using the camera control button. This button cutout is very nice. Your finger fits right in. There are other cutouts that seem to get in the way of you quickly pressing the button. This is pretty good though. Maybe not as good as if it were completely cut out like the Air, which we're going to see, but it's really nice. It seems to be perfect for me and my use case. All of the cutouts are perfect, but I mean, nowadays that seems to be the case. I don't normally come across cases that have incorrect cutouts. Let's move on to protection. The lip that comes out to protect the screen, it's not very high, but I think it's high enough, especially for my use. This elevated camera lip is even more impressive. I mean, this looks like a fortress guarding your lenses. I'm very confident, not that I've ever had a lens chipper break, but this just seems really great. I love how high it comes up. This is of course MagSafe compatible. I got my trusty Anchor Cube with me. Sticks right on, no problem. And I'm really not concerned with the drop protection. They advertise 6-foot drop protection. I mean, maybe I should I go to 6 feet? All right, I'm gonna drop this from a little above 6 feet. Whoa! I mean, nothing's damaged. The case looks fine, the phone is perfect, my screen didn't crack. I normally do the drop test from here, but I figured 6-foot drop protection. I did it a little bit above 6 feet. But yeah, this case was great. Again, when I did the Samsung review for this case, it got so many comments. Everybody seems to love this case. I love this case. I may even leave this one on my phone. I really like it a lot. So huge thumbs up for the Banks ArmorPro 600D. Okay, moving on to the Aurora Air. Now this has a very unique design. It's inspired by the Northern Lights. Now if you're not in love with this design, the Air does come in black too, but I think it's pretty cool. This one grew on me. This also has a Kevlar fiber with their float weave technology. And you can see it has the MagSafe ring inside. I'm gonna pop in my phone. Now this one is even more minimalistic than the Pro. It's almost as if you barely have a case on, and I love that. I may actually keep this one on my device. See how it has huge cutouts that don't protect the buttons, but it also gives you easy access to the buttons. Same on all sides, there's a big cutout for the camera control button and the power button. But on the bottom, all of the ports, speakers, mic, those are all protected. The hand feel on this one is also amazing. I love it. It really feels like you barely have a case on. But this texture is amazing, and it's so nice to grip. It's not something that should slip out of your hands very easily. I'll actually say this has the best hand feel out of any case I've ever tried. Definitely. So perfect hand feel, completely exposed buttons. Then moving on to the lip. Now, The lip that protects the screen is quite low. It's slightly lower than the Pro, and the corners actually do protrude a little bit more. It looks like it comes up higher in the corners than it does on the edges. So this isn't quite as protective. It still has the really durable Kevlar, but it doesn't offer the same type of protection that the Pro does. However, for somebody like me, I would likely choose this case because I'm more into minimalistic design. I like when it barely feels like there's anything on your phone, and I don't need maximum protection personally. I rarely drop my devices, and I'm fine with the risk over having something that feels great in my hands. That said, it does have the same amazing camera protection right here. This comes up really high, it looks really strong, I believe it's metal. My lenses feel very protected. The screen, not so much. I am wearing a screen protector though, and that should protect against nicks and scratches. Of course, it does have the nice strong MagSafe ring on here. And as far as drop protection, we'll go a little higher than 4 feet. And it's fine. No damage to the case, no damage to the phone. Now, I didn't drop it outside on concrete, but I'm not going to either. But yeah, I love this case. Again, the first 2 cases I've already reviewed for a different phone. I love them. My audience seems to love them, and they're both great cases. I can't recommend them highly enough. Huge thumbs up. Okay, so let's move on to the Banks Montage ArmorPro. Now this is very similar to the ArmorPro 600D case, except this blends the 600D and the 1500D Kevlar to give you even more protection. And if you can see their montage style on the front, it's nice, it's a little different. And like I said before, it also has a button here, which is over the camera control button. I have not tested this out yet. And of course the MagSafe ring on the inside. Let's try this one. I've never used one of these cases before. Okay, so it looks and it fits very similar to the Pro case. Again, that hand feel is just like butter. I love the way all of these cases feel in my hands. I could do this all day. Really nice, really solid. Just like the Pro, it's not ultra grippy, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out of my hand or anything. I don't usually have that issue personally, but if it's important to you, it's something worth noting. Now, the buttons are pretty easy to press, but I actually feel like it's not the same as the Pro. I mean, the Pro's buttons were perfect. This is just slightly below perfect. There's something slightly different about these buttons. But again, it's great. I'm nitpicking. The lip in the front is just the same as the Pro. It comes up to a decent height. It's not too high because again, they're keeping in line with their minimalistic design. Obviously the cutouts are perfect. Haven't had that problem in a while. And just like the other two, the camera protection is superb. It's got this metal fortress around the camera lenses, and I'm very happy about that. So now let's get to this camera control button. Let's see how quickly and easily I can start taking pictures. Oh, wow. Wow, that works well. I'm impressed with this. I mean, so this is actually better than the Pro, the button here. The Pro has a little cutout with an indentation, and my finger doesn't have any trouble finding it. But this flush mounted button over here is just like so easy. Wow, I'm really impressed with that. I like this button. I think that's a huge accomplishment. I haven't seen this on a case yet. I've reviewed so many iPhone 16 Pro Max cases, and this is the first time I'm seeing this. This is great. Again, it's fully MagSafe compatible. Clips right on. And let's do that high up drop test again. Perfect. I couldn't even tell that I dropped it. The phone's completely in the case, didn't pop out. I don't even see a scratch on it. So this is another great case, and I'm really surprised by that camera control button. That's a really cool feature. Another thumbs up for the Montage. I really love these cases. Okay, now bonus round, we have the Shanghai case. This looks much different than the other cases. Okay, pops right on there. Pretty good hand feel. Not as nice as the other ones though. The other ones are more minimalistic than this. This feels a little more like a standard case. Ooh, the buttons press really nicely. I like that. Now the design on the back is actually textured. You can feel it kind of protruding out of the phone. It's interesting. I like a textured case like that. I really like this design. It's nice. I love the colors. The lip that protects the screen protrudes nicely. It has the really nice protection around the camera lenses like usual. The camera control button perfect. It has a nice cutout. Doesn't stop me from taking pictures. I love it. Perfect cutouts as usual on the bottom. Of course, the MagSafe test. Seems just as good as the other ones. And finally, the drop test. Excellent. So I really like the design on this one. You know, just for my personal choice, I would definitely take one of the others over this one, just because they feel really minimalistic, almost like you're not wearing a case at all. But this is really cool also, and if you like the design, they also have other cities, like I definitely saw New York and Chicago on there. So yeah, check out their website. Okay, so that's my review of the Banks cases for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm really a fan of these three cases specifically. So much so that I want to pop one on my phone and I'm not sure which one I want. I'm huge into minimalistic, so the Aurora Air is really what I'm leaning towards. But then again, the Pro cases offer more protection and they feel almost as minimalistic as the Air. And of course, the Montage surprised me with this really cool camera control button. So I have no idea. This is going to be a difficult decision. Maybe I'll just start swapping them out every day. But I will say you really can't go wrong with any of these. Now, if you are interested in purchasing any of these cases, I have a link below in the description to each one of them, along with a personalized discount code. This will give you 20% off. And I don't know how long that's gonna last. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching.